Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dave here with Go Gamers, and today we're going to be looking at this Xbox Series X that's having issues where it's turning on and turning right back off. So let's go over to the upper cam and see what we got going on. All right, so as you guys can see, we have a Xbox Series X game console. Had a customer ship this one in, and they are saying that it's having issues where it's turning on and turning back off. So as you can see, we're over here at the cam, and I'm actually pressing the power button. Okay, it took a while to turn on, but okay, now it's on. Okay, now it's back off. So I can hear it beeping. It turns on and turns back off. So let's try to put this in safe mode. So I'm gonna hold the sync button, the eject button, press the power button. Okay, so there is definitely something going on with maybe some type of internals. It could be any type of power supply issue or anything on the motherboard. If you guys don't remember last time when we was working on a console similar to this where it was turning on, turning off, it was actually a power supply issue when we went inside there and checked it out. So it could be a number of different things. I've also worked on some that was off cameras where it happened to be like this little IC chip that sits directly on the motherboard, and I was able to swap it off from a donor board from an Xbox One. But let's go ahead and let's get this taken apart. Let's get this disassembled and let's see exactly what's going on with this Xbox Series. All right, guys, so we are down to the motherboard. See, this is actually a newer style motherboard. These ribbon cables also connect a lot better, and there is not that big heat reflector that covers the X clamp that sits right here. Kind of a backstory, this customer said they actually just bought this Xbox Series and they saw my video and they ended up shipping it in to me, and that's crazy. They said it literally worked for maybe a week after they bought it, and they was never able to get it to turn back on. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to look at this section of the motherboard right here. Now, there's no guarantee that this is going to work at all, but this is just what I've personally seen before working on this. So let's turn our attention to right here. So let's go over to our microscope. All right, guys, so you can see exactly where we're at. We're in that same general area. Just to kind of move up, you can see where we're at. I'm going to move back down. There's HDMI port. I'm going to move down from the HDMI port. We're going to be looking at this 5-pin IC chip right here. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to replace this. So I'm going to put a little bit of flux on it. Now, if you want to know the type of flux that I use 8341 no clean flux. And what we're going to do, let me go back over to the microscope, is we're going to take our heat wand, and I'll actually show you guys this on the upper cam. This is a Toolar heat wand. I'm going to turn this thing on to max heat, which is 500. I got this on 3.5 for the air force, whatever you want to call it, the force that pushes out the air. Let's go back under the microscope. I have my tweezers right here. Okay, and I got my fume extractor turned on. I'm going to allow the Toolar heat wand to heat up. And as soon as we allow this to heat up, we're going to take this off and we're going to move over to our donor Xbox One motherboard. And we're going to pull this same IC off of that motherboard as well. So we got it up to max heat right now. I'm going to put it directly over it. I'm going to allow it to heat up. You don't want to force this off. You kind of just want to tap around on it. Wait till that solder to fully flow. All right, so that took a lot longer than usual. It's usually not that difficult to get off a 5-pin IC. So I'm gonna set my heat wand down And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Hacko solder iron and we are going to tin the solder pads. But first things first, we're going to put a little bit more flux on there. Then we're going to take our Hacko solder iron. Also, if you guys want to know the type of stuff that I use, links is also in the description. If you want to purchase it yourself, I'm going to move that just a little bit up so I can be able to see this clearly. Tin the solder tip. I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to go through and you see, that looks a lot better. So that gets us ready for our new IC once we put it down on there. Next up, we have our Xbox One Fat motherboard, and I'm going to show you guys exactly where this is located at on this board. Let's go up here. So let me get this microscope set up first. All right, so here's where we're at. Okay, so here's the Ethernet port right here. You can see here is the IC chip for the Ethernet port. We're gonna go directly left and bam, right there, U4B5. That is the IC that we want to take. So I'm gonna put my clamps, which is actually just one clamp down on the motherboard to secure the board. Now what I'm gonna do is pop a little bit of flux on there, and we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. So let's get this taken off. All right, so as you can tell, this one actually came off a lot easier. And from my experience with taking off these IC chips or taking off like a fuse on the motherboard, typically I usually see if it struggles to come off, usually there is some type of blown coil or something within that fuse or that IC chip. So let's see if my suspicions are correct. We're going to move directly over to the Xbox Series motherboard. All right, there's exactly where we need to resolder that IC chip down on. So let's get the new IC chip. We're going to put it directly on there now. So this is the one from the Xbox One. All right, so we got a semi on there, but I want to add a little bit more flux so it can flow a lot better and slide directly into place. So let's pop a little bit more flux on there. We got to heat it up. You see it's doing a lot better job flowing directly into place now. Bam, there we go. As you can see it flowed and it looks a lot better. So now what we're going to do is, yes, put more flux on it. And we're going to take our Hacko solder iron. We're going to tin the tip of it again. And we are going to just quickly just touch up all the legs so we can have a fresh connection. So the next thing we're going to do is take our toothbrush. We're going to take 99% IPA. We're going to put the toothbrush directly in there. It's because now we want to clean this entire area. And I'm also going to have the towel directly over it. Let's go back over to the microscope. You see that looks good. Every single pad is soldered directly down, and should be getting perfect continuity now. So we're just running back and forth with the toothbrush, coming in with the towel. I'm gonna clean the toothbrush on the towel, go back in, clean it up, clean up some of the debris, come in and just pat the towel down over the area. And now that looks good. So I'm gonna put this under a different type of lighting just to make sure. Yes, everything looks good. As you can see, that's all fresh solder. And now what we're going to do is we're going to partially put this motherboard back together and see if we was able to actually get this fixed with this solution. Now, I've repaired this issue. This is going to be my third time if this is actually successful. I've repaired this one using this fix 2 times prior. So if this one actually does fix it, this lets us know that for whatever reason, these 5-pin ICs are constantly blowing out on these Xbox Series. And that's something that later on down the road, we're going to have to try to figure out why. The ones that I repaired before never had a return, never had any issue after I did the repair, which is good. So that it could also just be that they're just putting in a crappy 5-pin IC. So let's get this put partially back together and see what we can get done. All right, so we got console put back together. I ended up just putting it all the way back together. As you can see, we got it all the way back together. I have it right here, so hopefully I'm trying to look at the monitor in the console at the same time so I can make sure you guys can see the power button turn on. So we're going to now try to power it on and see what we can get. All right, so, all right, it's actually staying on longer than usual. Yes! All right, so we got this thing to turn on. Yeah, it's working great. So looks like we was able to repair this Xbox Series successfully. So this was another one in the books. All right, if this video did help you guys out, please make sure you go ahead and leave a like button. And if you guys have any additional questions, you could please just let me know down in the comments below or reach out to us. You could also mail in your game consoles for repair. You could organize your repair on our website, gogamers.com, or just shoot us a call and ask us how you can be able to get your repair organized. You can ship it straight into us. Also, if you are brand new and you want to see continued repairs, or if you want to see something very specific, subscribe to the channel and just let me know. And I'll try to get a repair like that put up. But as you see, we have a successful repair with this Xbox Series X. And that's pretty much it for today's video. So I hope to see you guys on the flip side, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.